This week on the Radio Meets TV podcast, did you know that there is an elderly abuse pandemic in South Africa? That's crazy and certainly not cool. Another thing I didn't know that is cool is that there is a Ferrari supercar club. What? Somebody invite me. Oh yeah, I need a Ferrari. Well, check this out. Where are they now? She made me feel like I was part of the golden circle.
I think one of the first few shows I did was called Chat Express. It was a talk show, youth-oriented. It was a platform for engagement. And I did that. Within the station. I got to do prime time. Eventually, there was a show I did called Golden Circle. Enjoyed.
All this and more on this week's episode of the Radio Meets TV podcast. Hashtag RMT podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Finally Famous TV, and we are available on Spotify, on Apple Music, on iHeartRadio, any major streaming network. We are there like a bear. Hey, what's up, fam? Kabala Munji Ngampanza. I'd like to welcome you to Radio Meets TV podcast. Hashtag RMT podcast for short. You know, you might know us from YouTube, and thank you for the love. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you've already subscribed. If not, let someone else know. We want more, right? We're not only on YouTube, but we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, any major streaming platform. Just search Radio Meets TV podcast. We appreciate the love so far. Let's keep it going. As you can see, I'm rocking my "Don't worry, you'll give me." Good to know, man. Big up to Kolani. So that man really is fixing our great nation of South Africa. And I say we're a great nation. But we've got so many different cultures and creeds living in this great nation. But even though we are all different, we are all South African. We've all got that thing. I know that one is South African. You know what I'm saying? And expanding on this a little bit more is KFM's Carl and Zoe as they discuss a few hard truths we need to hear as South Africans.
I'm just saying, man, that is such a thing. The truths about us as South Africans that maybe we're not ready to hear.
Pedestrians,
yes,
pretending to run across the road is not going to make you cross the road any faster.
That a braai will always take long.
Dear South Africans, standing on top of me in the line is not going to make the line move faster.
Racing up to a red robot is not going to make you get there faster. You're just going to sit at the robot for longer than me.
Definitely, we cannot blame Eskom for everything. Even though I do it, it's just easy way out.
I've heard it before. I haven't been able to catch up with you, man. Eskom.
Okay, Ray jacket does not go with every outfit.
I live in the northern suburbs.
Everyone.
K-way is a uniform. If you have a K-way and a Hilux, then you sort it. Here, South Africa, please blow your nose. Stop reversing all that stuff back. It's so irritating.
Is this now the one that's just in the nose, like...
That's the one.
Dear South Africa, please don't end every sentence with as well.
There we go. As well is another one that's come through. As well.
Skinnering about someone and then ending the conversation with "I'm just saying" is not gossiping.
I'm just saying, man. That is such a thing.
That was really cool, man. That's the Flash Drive with Carl and Zoe on KFM every single weekday, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. You know, I know for a fact you've heard about gender-based violence. You might have also heard about child abuse. I'm hoping you've heard about child abuse, right? Because it's a real pandemic in South Africa. But there's another pandemic, right, that we might not know about because it's not often talked about. It is elderly abuse. And more on this, here's Lotus FM.
So, I always say this on my show as well, that bad things happen because good people remain silent, Kamal.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there is a need for a lot more awareness and advocacy. As you said, Zakia, people are sensitized to GBV and to child abuse. And, over the years, there's been a lot being said about it, and people are very aware of it. Unfortunately, with elder abuse, it's not well known, and the research actually supports that. Although there is such high prevalence of elder abuse, 1 in 6 persons over the age of 60 is said to have experienced some form of abuse, and this is from the World Health Organization. As much as it is prevalent, there aren't the statistics to back it up because people aren't reporting on it. And therefore, we need to create a lot more awareness.
And that's Lotus FM. Talk at 7 with Zakia every single Monday to Thursday from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. As growing up, I'd never really heard of ukuthi abantu abadala bayahlukumezwa or being abused and stuff, Mina ngikhule nje ngazi ukuthi umuntu omdala uyasihlonipha, automatic respect. So, I don't know. Maybe do you think it's because ingane isashawa? I don't know, fam. I really don't know. What I do know is that Kwekwezi FM covered one of the biggest stories that happened this past week. We all know back in 1912, the Titanic hit an iceberg and it sank, taking the lives of many, many people. So recently, a couple of billionaires wanted to go and sort of relive that experience by seeing the wreckage themselves with their own eyes. Little did they know that they were headed for disaster. And as I said earlier, Kwekwezi FM covers the story, so let's have a listen.
Bazobe sebangasanayo i-oxygen 9 o'clock. Bazobe bangasanayo i-oxygen.
Basele nge 20 minutes.
Yeah, njalo abakhulumiswa ngakhona. Yeah. So sakhumbula-ke bona i-Titanic ngilesi sikepe esaqwilako ngomnyaka waka 1912. Lapha besikhweze khona abantu abalinganiselwa ku 1496 ngikhumbula kuhle. Yeah. So nake besiyi 3200 meters. Ukubanzi nobukhulu baso sikepe leso. Sikepe sakanokutsho siyayazi movie.
Titanic.
Yeah, i-Titanic.
Nangikhumbula ngoCeline Dion ingoma khona leya. Ufuna uzenza istarha ke sibode ngapha sizokubuya nayo.
And that's Kwekwezi FM with Ubusai and Bobo the Beats. This Vugile breakfast show every single Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. The submarine story, the billionaires, that story was widely covered. I just feel like there was another story, a similar story with a lot more people, refugees. I'm not sure why that story didn't get much coverage, but a sequel up. Where we're at is with Nanda FM, right? It's Petro Siako and Nanda, the Lokshin Drive. And he has a chat with one of the rising stars in our music industry, like South Africa, Unje Music. Let's have a listen.
But Totando, the producing, or maybe if you were to give a person picture.
Yes.
Because people, they don't understand, which is, but we don't know what goes behind the scene. Yeah, before school, producing goes one.
Production, it's something that complex, yabo. Mina ngiyithathe njengokuthi you writing a book, yabo. Book lakho molibhala, you first need to have the idea, right? Bese une idea, une intro. Bese une intro like introduce the whole book ukuthi ikhuluma ngani. Ube ne body and conclusion. So in music it's like if I have an idea, okay, fine, let us say, because I was working on a single Queen.
Yes.
So it was a concept that I had, because ngithanding that remind me of home. That nostalgia.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, Equeni. If ngicabanga
What happened?
Okay.
I'll
be honest.
So mana personal lengo.
It is.
Personal.
It is personal.
Big up to Usiasem a bit. I actually really like his line of questioning. Go about we keep in for Lena from Unje Music. I've always wondered how music producers take sounds and put them together to make music, to make a melodic music. That's actually crazy if you think about it, right? Anyways, in South Africa, we've got different types of clubs. We've got the club where people go to groove. We've got book clubs, we've got supercar clubs, apparently Ferrari supercar clubs. That's crazy. How do you get invited? Let's find out.
All right, well, listen, I've got some music here. I think we're going to put some music on to do Ferrari-type interviews. sort of makes us sound more Ferrari-ish, if I can do that. There we go. That's very nice, yes.
There we go. There we go.
All right, so Clinton, we've asked you to come in the studio this morning because we are officially, as Hot 1027, joining the Ferrari Club in one shape, form or another, right?
Absolutely.
Tell us more.
All right, so Hot 102.7 and the Ferrari Club of South Africa have partnered.
Yes.
We've found quite a lot of synergy in what we like to deliver to our members, to your listeners. There's a big charity component, but a lot of our Ferrari Club members are listening to Hot 102.7, and we felt collectively we can do far more good for a lot of people who are in need throughout the country. So we look forward to a relationship that's beneficial to a lot of people in need.
So we're going to do good for people that are in need, but we're going to do it in Ferraris and in Ferrari style, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I mean, let's just talk a little bit about the club, because the club's been going for, 13 years?
No, the club's
14
older than
years,
30
15 years.
The club was founded in 1967.
Sure.
So
that's 56 years.
You know, exactly.
Yes.
Right, so the Sefak Ferrari Club, it's the oldest recognized Ferrari club in the world.
Yes.
So right up there with, as old as some of the older clubs, but we're the first recognized one. Well, there was a small contingent of Ferrari owners in South Africa.
Right.
They got together at Zoo Lake and decided to form a club. And the interesting part, our founder, Pierre, he sent a request to Enzo Ferrari asking if we could use certain branding and if we could form this club.
Right.
And Enzo responded with a letter to our club, which we still have today, authorizing and allowing us to form this club.
By Enzo Ferrari.
Enzo Ferrari himself.
That's DJ Parky on Hot 102.7, the breakfast show, yeah, corner, and it happens every single Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. You know, I don't know if you also heard this, but I heard the Ferrari Supercar Club owner say that they're looking to help people in need. Well, I'm in need of a Ferrari. I'm just putting it out there. You know, anyways. So we're moving from one Hot FM to the next Hot FM, but this one is all the way in the United States. I'm talking about Hot 97 with Ebro. And if you didn't know, one of the big things that happened in pop culture this past week is Pharrell's fashion show, his Louis Vuitton fashion show. And all the hottest black celebrities were there, including our own Black Coffee. So just chatting about it a little bit more, here they are. Let's have a listen.
From New York to the world, subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Last night was very big for Pharrell Williams. You know, he is...
Another person I'm really proud of.
Absolutely. So he was named the creative director of menswear for Louis Vuitton. And he had his big menswear spring-summer 2024 show where Jay-Z ended up performing with him. But Beyonce stopped her tour to go attend the show. But all the celebrities were there. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, Megan Thee Stallion, LeBron James, Lewis Hamilton, Skepta, you name it, they were all there.
All right.
So a brand new Clips track played during the runway as Pusha T and No Malice were walking down the runway. But people are saying that these are shots at Jim Jones.
That's sort of exciting.
You want to hear a clip?
Uncle said, nigga, they must be sick. All you talk about is just get rich. Choke my neck and ice.
No one's going to hear this and understand what's happening. Right. Just trust the internet. They're saying it's about Jim Jones, okay? You can
look up the lyrics. But so, you know, of course, everybody's on the Instagram comments. And I looked at Jim Jones's IG right now. So he has a video of himself laughing. Ha, 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 ha. And his caption.
We have that. We have this. We have Jones?
Yep.
You have it? Okay, go ahead.
Of course. Now that's good content.
His caption on IG says, "Let me know if they're serious, cause my name is my name." Capital.
Let them know if they're serious, because my name is my name. That was a Pusha. That was a Pusha
album. That's a Pusha album.
My name is my name.
And maybe that's Capo's favorite album.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
It's dope. So if you get a chance to watch it, like it's really good.
Yeah, man, big ups to Hot 97. They've been keen reporting on the hottest trends and the hottest things that are happening in pop culture. But that's their pop culture. We had our own buzz within our own pop culture like South Africa, and that was with the debut of the much anticipated show, Shaka Ilembe. More on this. Here's Cape Talk.
So in other words, what I'm seeing is not completely divorced from what the historical Shaka and that time might have been.
Okay, so let me give you just one of the biggest complications we had.
Yeah.
Cameras arrived in South Africa only in the 1830s. So most of the photographs that we have from the southeast coast only date to the 1870s, 1880s, 1890s. So essentially, when it comes to visual material, the period before the 1870s is a total blank. We simply do not even know what people look like. We do not know what hairstyles they had. We do not know what they ate. We do not know how they built their homes. We are just guessing based on what we have from about the 1870s to the 1880s. So what we did was we took that and we simply tried to push it back by 100 years. So yes, we had to be creative. Yes, we had to tell a few white lies, and we were hoping that the audience is not going to spot the white lies.
Yeah, man, Cape Talk has our pop culture covered, like South Africa, and that was the afternoon drive with John. Big ups to him indeed. All right, so Yasmina, personally speaking, this is just my own personal opinion. I feel that the story of Isinu Shaka has been told already, you know. I understand Uguti Shaka Ilembe is doing a fantastic job of retelling the story with a little bit more detail. Actually, a lot more detail, a lot more research went into the writing of Shaka Ilembe. I just feel as though so many other great moments happened after the passing of Isilo Ushara. You know, just like you see the Isanjwana, the Battle of Blood River, King Echwayo's reign, you know, maybe even the fall of the Zulu Empire. Because asibe nje as amaZulu, wafika kanjani, what happened? Kodwa-ke, I hope ukuthi they'll continue the story, iqhubeke nje, so we can document our history as amaZulu. So as you know, just to remind you, every once in a while we'll be asking ourselves, where are they now? This refers to radio personalities or media personalities in general that we connect with and then they just disappear. This week is no different. And this week we see where is she now. I say she because she is dazzling. And I'm excited to find out. To whoop, manj.
Hi, Jiga. Hi, Keys. Thank you so much for having me. Kamalami Nomfundo The Dazzling One. For those abangangazi, you may remember me from Gagasi FM. I was there for close to a decade, broadcasting some of your favorite shows. And how I got to begin my journey at radio, it was through a talent search competition way back when. Good time. Shout out to the organizers of that talent search because that was my way in radio, by the way. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I won the competition. Then I got to do a 1.5 year training with Gagasi FM. Bang trainer ke bang merenita benza ukuthi nami ngikwazi ukusakaza njengezinye izingane. Mase bebona ukuthi sengi-right, got an opportunity to host my own show. I think one of the first few shows I did was called Chat Express. It was a talk show, youth-oriented. It was a platform for engagement. And I did that. Within the station, I got to do prime time. Eventually, there was a show I did called Golden Circle. Enjoyed some phenomenal milestones on that show. Shout out to my partner in crime there, Lango Tele, who we did the show with. He was producing, I was hosting, and man, we just made pure magic. I'm very excited about that part of my career. Also, big shout out to just, you know, it's responsibility of a programs manager. I've been cool, guys, like just spotting talent and allowing people to do a lot of things. I think the first person that sort of just threw me in the deep end and gave me an option to either swim or sink as Mr. Vugile Zondi. Shout out to him, man, because it's unheard of that you'd give somebody or just an opportunity to stand in for a breakfast show, and you do things like that, you know. Wasn't really too strict to no, you're just coming in, so just do your training slot. Each training will throw you in the deep end, you need to swim, and I appreciate that so much. And I think it prepared me for doing a primetime show and a gospel show near weekend at the same time, which were two very different shows. The feeling was extremely different, but I think we achieved on both shows incredible milestones. So I'm very, very proud of that. Sunday Devotion for me was such a humbling experience because it was just not a show. I think for me it was, when talent meets purpose and you're doing something that impacts other people's lives for the better, and I think that positive impact, it made me understand that it's not really frivolous, but there's depth to it, and there's meaning to it, and I could give to people what I also received from radio, and that was companionship. So I was really, really excited to be just given the opportunity to do that. It was nice. And then I moved on. I had to close the curtain on broadcasting for a bit of a while. And this was purely because I needed to focus. I think I'd been toiling with the idea for about 2 years. And then in that 2 years, I was just trying to juggle business. I was trying to juggle broadcasting. And then, things had disappeared. Then I'd come back. But eventually, I was sure that it's time now to move. You must move when you still love something. And I think I was at that point where I was still remarkably in love with radio. But it was time to explore new things and new opportunities. I was in business. I've been in business for the longest time. And good tough. Hey, that thing. But fortunately, things started moving in the right direction, and so I could afford to focus fully on our business. It's a family business, and so we just work with various stakeholders, big corporates, and we help them navigate managing their stakeholder relations and all of that. Currently, also then I moved on to bigger and better things, and now work with wonderful organizations that literally is just changing the trajectory of Africa's economy. I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, a lot of things that I work in relatively are boring to, us as the youth. So I don't share much about that because it works in the platforms that it works, and it gets the right people excited, the people that are meant to be excited by what we're doing. And eventually it will filter on to the rest of the public. People will get to know about it, but it's really, you can't build and talk at the same time. So hence it seems as though I've just completely vanished. I am busy, in a good way. But my love for broadcasting has just ensured that I don't detach completely because, masaka ikamaletu silaka because of the help and love of abantu. And I always want to give back. I always want to make sure that I'm still accessible to abantu that have really stood with me from the beginning of my career. And so y'all gonna be excited about this because your girl is coming back with something new. Some of you may think, Avele, it's about time she does this. Probably those will be some of the comments. But some of the comments will probably be, oh my goodness, I had no idea, that she was, in that. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, no need to announce. It will become obvious over time what other things I'm involved in. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Nanda, Bafeto, thank you so much for just your interest in my life. Okay, bye.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, sharing, liking, for just showing us love in general. Kamala Munjing Ampanza, and make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. Finally Famous SA. Subscribe on YouTube, Finally Famous TV, and check us out on other streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and any other streaming platform you can think of. Sikona Sida. Show us some love, because we're showing you this love. You will give me love.